Hey my dears, first of all, click the like button so you don't forget, okay? This helps me a lot, thank you. 4,000 years into the future, humanity was nearly brought to extinction by giant. Closer, and their only chance of survival was by utilizing the FranXX, an overpowered mecha that unleashes legendary powers when a guy rides a girl. The following day, as the team began to head out for their mission, Goro pushed Ichigo to talk to the hero, but when Ichigo stood in front of him, she began to stutter. The hero saw 02 in the corridor and decided to wave at her, causing Ichigo to lose focus. When she tried to speak again, she said she considered him like a brother and hoped to see him return alive from the battle. The hero told her that he considered her like a sister and also hoped she would return safely from the battle before running after 02. When Ichigo prepared to activate her robot, she told Garo she intended to keep 02 away from the battle. Outside the fortress, the teams observed a large army of Cloxer approaching, so the first team decided to lead the battle. As one robot launched a spear towards a monster, another jumped high and impaled it until it exploded. Immediately, 3 robots shot arrows at another, allowing the leader to impale it until it burst. When a Cloxer began to approach them, Futoshi tried to shoot it, but it dodged and devoured him. Ichigo started shooting at it, but as it evaded the shots, Zoram tried to impale it, but missed and collided with Mitsuru's robot. While 2 monsters tried to tear Futoshi's robot apart, another tried to devour them, but Ichigo threw it to the ground and finished it off. At that moment, a new monster began running towards the fortress, so Ichigo told Zoram to chase it down and eliminate it. Meanwhile, the hero was very sick and in a lot of pain. When a new set of Cloxer armies began to approach the facility, 02 told him that Ichigo's team was running across the battlefield like idiots and that she couldn't wait to get into the fight. The hero wondered why she always liked destroying the Cloxer, realizing it made her happy like a scary maniac. She told him she was a monster and loved the adrenaline that came with each battle. Determined not to be a killjoy, the hero suggested they join the battle immediately, so 02 agreed. When the FranXX entered the battlefield, she piled several monsters into a high line and obliterated them in an instant, before impaling another and destroying it with a slash. The Cloxer began to shoot at her, but she blocked and jumped away before destroying them in a flash. Realizing their advantage, the second team tied up another monster and electrocuted it until it exploded. After the FranXX destroyed another monster, the hero became very sick, causing the robot to become stiff and unable to move. However, she quickly revived and began killing the monsters with swift moves. Then Ichigo finished off the last one. Ichigo told 02 to withdraw from the battle, but the hero insisted they continue. With all the smaller monsters defeated, the second team decided to tie up the last Cloxer and electrocute it, causing it to stop moving. When they electrocuted it again, a bright light shone, and a thunderous noise echoed across the battlefield, and before their eyes, it began to transform into a strange humanoid form. As it advanced, the second team shot arrows at it, but it deflected them and crushed them into the ground. With the team leader about to be hit, Zoro managed to rescue him and place him in a safe spot. Realizing they were the only team left, Ichigo suggested they immobilize the beast so the hero could finish it off, as only his robot had the weapon to find the beast's core. They split up and began climbing the monster, hoping to stop it before it reached the fortress. At the same time, the hero was trying to endure the pain as large veins appeared all over his body. However, he was determined to continue. So, when the team managed to weaken the monster's knees, the FranXX began to descend towards it with his spear. Stabbing it, the hero tried to force the spear with all his might and released gas inside it, causing the monster to fall. Believing the monster was dead, the hero fainted from exhaustion. However, the monster threw the FranXX towards the fortress and began to transform into a new form. With the hero unconscious, the Cloxer prepared a powerful attack and threw the FranXX against a wall, causing it to shut down. At that moment, as the robot tried to get up, the Cloxer began hitting it relentlessly. Ichigo realized the hero might be dead and started crying, afraid she would never see him again. However, Garo started shouting at her and told her to pull herself together. Meanwhile, the hero's soul was in a different world where he discovered he was dead. Naomi appeared behind him and accused him of giving up on 02 just like he gave up on her. The hero said he was now useless since he was dead and believed 02 could fight the battle alone. Suddenly, he saw 02 standing under a tree in front of him, but when he tried to touch her, she began to move away, making him realize she was very sad. At that moment, he opened his eyes and found 02 trying to fight alone, but was knocked down as the monster continued to attack the FranXX. However, 02 continued fighting like a crazy beast from hell, enduring all the pain and incessant blows. Upon seeing this, the hero realized that 02 always fought the same way whenever she lost a partner, so he was determined to help her and pilot with her again. When life returned to his eyes, the veins disappeared from his body, and he held her as she began to scream, bringing her back to her senses. He told her that he would always stay by her side and never leave her again. At that moment, the FranXX revived and began to crush the Cloxosaur. But as it started to change form again, the team began to fly towards it, determined to interrupt the transformation. They held it, revealing its core to the hero, who began to fly towards it at great speed. When the FranXX pierced through it, it stabbed the core, causing the monster to rise with a light that looked like wings before exploding into thick smoke. Inside the FranXX, the hero told 02 that he wished to be her wings so she would never have to fight alone again. As they started to leave, happy to see their friends again. This was supposed to be Hero's last fight. Everyone was expecting the worst. All the other 02 pilots died after the third time, but with Hero it was different for some reason. A few days later, the team was allowed to take a beach vacation as a reward for destroying the Cloxosaur. 02 pulled the hero into the water and started splashing him. However, a few days after the battle, the hero was introduced to Dr. FranXX, who was the creator of the robots, and another person who told the hero that he was very lucky to be alive. When the sergeant told the hero and 02 that headquarters had decided to make them partners, 02 immediately hugged the hero, happy to hear that. At the beach, the hero began to follow 02 as she swam further into the water. She told him that he helped her discover the ocean by becoming her partner. She said she wanted him always to stay by her side and decided to lick his face. When he started to stutter, thinking she intended to kiss him, she said that a kiss meant they belonged to each other and that he should only kiss someone he loved. When she asked if he had ever kissed another girl besides her, the hero started to stutter again and was happily pulled into the water by his friends. Soon, they carried him to the beach, and after throwing him in the sand, Zoroark decided to ask the meaning of a kiss. As the hero tried to escape, Zoroark grabbed him and persuaded him to tell. Then he said that they had to put their mouth on another person's mouth. Shocked by this discovery, Zoroark decided to ask if kissing was a special act. The hero said it was a sweet and warm feeling that he wished would never end. Wanting to experience this, Zoroark tried to kiss the hero, but he said he should only kiss someone he loved. When Ichigo appeared wondering what was going on, Garo told her they had learned the meaning of a kiss and asked if she had ever experienced it. But she said no. At that moment, Miko started calling them, and soon they reached a cave, surprised by the discovery. As they climbed the steps, Garo asked the hero if boys could become the girls' love partners since he had said kissing was something special to do with their partner. But the hero was uncertain about it. When they reached an old, abandoned city, they began to wonder what must have happened to the people who lived there. After spotting a large house, Zoroark, Futoshi, and Miku decided to go inside. While looking around, they discovered that the house was similar to the home where they lived and wondered if their house was intentionally built with this design. Meanwhile, Keiko entered another part of the house and found an old book on the floor. As she wiped the dust off, she was delighted with the drawing of a baby, but Mitsuru saved her from being hit by a board. However, she continued to hold the book. At the same time, Ichigo found a drawing of a couple kissing and began to remember her kiss with the hero. But 02 appeared behind her and said that she had kissed him. When Ichigo said she had also kissed a boy, 02 said she should only kiss one special person and demanded to know who she had kissed. Hey my dears, have you ever wanted to draw your own anime character, or even become a professional artist? Dude, check this out. Anime Art Academy brings together professional artists from Japan. You can actually learn from real mangakas. And you know the best part? You can start for free to get a taste of the journey. Check out the art from one of the professors. Hot, right? The link is in the description, okay? Fortunately, Garo called her from across the street, saving her from embarrassment. When they reached a cliff, Zoram wondered how the city managed to exist. 02 said the city was abandoned by humans when the Cloxosaur began to appear on Earth, and that there were several other cities around the world that were also abandoned. That night, after dinner, 02 told the hero she wanted to swim and started running towards the ocean. A few minutes later, while they were sitting around the fire, the hero wondered why humans decided to abandon their cities instead of protecting themselves from the Cloxosaur. And since the Cloxosaur were attracted to magma energy, he wondered if it was worth losing Earth for it. However, Zoram believed it was a valid risk and thought it made them saviors of the world. That night, while everyone was sleeping, Ichigo saw the hero trying to escape, so they decided to walk along the beach together. While showing the stars, she told him that he used to read stories about them when they were little, but the hero had no memory of this. However, upon spotting another star, the hero remembered that they had named the star with Ichigo's code and promised to see it together after leaving the fortress. As they continued walking, she told him not to focus all his attention on 02, but to dedicate some attention to her, and that their kiss inside the robot was very special to her. However, when she tried to say that she wanted to be by his side forever, the hero suddenly pointed to the shooting stars in the sky. As they watched the stars, the hero told her to make a wish in her heart, but she thought he was an idiot for not listening to her confession of wishes. It's no use, Ichigo. Hero is all from 02. A few days later, the team started fighting another Cloxer. When a robot dodged its attack, Zoro jumped on it and began stabbing it before Futoshi blew it up. Realizing the chance to defeat it, the team began to advance, but the monster poured slime over them. However, they discovered that the slime was harmless to their robots and thought about attacking again, but the slime began to penetrate and melt the girls' suits. Realizing they were about to witness an interesting scene, the boys stared as if their lives depended on it. However, 02 managed to shout at Hiro and reminded him of the monster in front of them, so they ran towards it, and by blocking the slime, they cut it to pieces. When they returned to the facility, the boys started apologizing to the girls for enjoying the interesting scene, but the girls thought they were useless perverts and told them to stay away forever. However, Hiro asks them to calm down, as 02 told him that parasites can connect better if they're a little naughty. She agrees. After all, she has already appeared naked to Hiro. What a naughty girl. Later that day, they drew a line across the house, and Miku told the boys they couldn't cross to the other side. However, Zoro decided to challenge the order and tried to cross, but the girls threatened to beat him up. In fact, 02 didn't care about it and just wanted to know about his darling. My couple. The next day, the girls discovered that the boys had taken over the cafeteria and were starting to eat all the food. When Goro suggested abandoning their stupid rules, the girls refused and started pulling Miku away, but 02 simply crossed the line into the hall. That afternoon, the girls decided to look for food, but while walking through the lower floors for the first time, they discovered that several rooms had been sealed. Ichigo wondered how much longer they would have to continue fighting the Cloxer, as the battle seemed never-ending. 02 appears and licks Akuno's neck, which makes her shiver while 02 says he knows the secret. The girls decided to talk to 02 in private and asked her to join their fight against the boys. Having seen her with Hiro, they thought she was making their decisions irrelevant by breaking their rules, so 02 agreed to join their stupid fight. However, the next day, she tore down the restriction notice and told the boys that the girls had asked for peace while she changed the girls' sign to the boys. But when the boys entered the bathroom, they found the girls inside and started throwing objects at them, calling them dirty perverts. When Zorom tried to explain what 02 had told them, Hiro saw her stealing their clothes and running out, so he chased her. After demanding the clothes, she told him to take them if he was a man. When he ran to get them, she slid down the railing and started climbing more stairs. Hiro chased her to the lounge, but she crossed the room and ran down the hallway. When 02 climbed onto the roof, Hiro followed her to the edge, realizing she had nowhere to run. But she let the clothes fall in the air. Hiro found her strange and wondered why she decided to steal everyone's clothes. She said she just wanted to have fun. When she started to lower herself as if she were going to fall, she grabbed the house structure and easily descended like a badass. Inside the house, Nana told the teenagers to resolve their problems without making a mess and suggested they make peace, as they would have to leave for a new battle soon. In the girls' room, Ichigo wanted to know why 02 had tricked them, so she said she was trying to help them become responsible parents. Confused by her words, the girls watched her leave while 02 said everyone would be dead soon. At the same time, in the boys' room, Hiro suggested they make peace with the girls and started making a powerful speech about how the girls saved their lives in battle by energizing the robots with their fragile bodies. The boys thought the girls would be good wives and agreed to make peace with them. Meanwhile, the girls wondered what 02 was trying to say, but didn't understand the meaning of her words. Then Kokoro decided to restore peace to the team and started saying they needed the boys as much as the boys needed them, and that they formed a happier team when they were satisfied with each other. But Miko thought it was better to stay apart and decided to leave the room. Afraid she might have run away, the girls decided to ask the boys for help in finding her. Meanwhile, Miku was hiding in an abandoned room when she saw an old photo of another team that had lived on that floor. Shocked by her discovery, she let the glass fall and her friends broke down the door while wondering who had stayed in that room. 02 revealed that it had belonged to a previous team that died in battle. With the team hoping not to become the next Sushi, they decided to make peace with each other. Zorom told Miku that he would be sneaking into her bed every night to appreciate the interesting scene. A few weeks later, the team received a gift from the force's leader. When 02 wondered why they received a gift every year, Hiro said it was an attempt to encourage them for their hard work. Then, Christmas arrived and all the parasites got presents. Later that day, Goro found Ichigo spying on Hiro while he was giving a gift to 02. Hiro told her that he felt sad for her not receiving anything and hoped to make up for it. He mentioned that the mirror belonged to his previous partner, Naomi, who left the facility after being injured. Fascinated by the gift, 02 hugged Hiro and said she loved it and would keep it forever. But Ichigo was sad and wished she had received the gift. Goro remembered that when they were little, they noticed Ichigo's hair starting to grow. In a desperate attempt to impress her, he hurried to make a hair clip, but discovered that Hiro had already done it before him. He was sad because he always liked her but was afraid to say it. In the boys' room, Hiro saw Goro holding the clip and wondered why he had it. Goro said he wanted to give the clip to Ichigo since they were little but was ashamed. When Hiro asked why he was afraid to tell her how he felt, Goro replied that Ichigo always liked him and wanted to stay by his side, just like 02 was always by Hiro's side. Shocked by his words, Hiro started to stammer, but Goro said he loved Ichigo and always hoped to stay with her forever. After saying these words, Goro said he was ready to sleep and lay down immediately. The next day, the sergeant said that a clockser was discovered a few kilometers away and was quickly approaching the fortress. Nana said their duty was to destroy it before it reached the location to prevent damage to the fortress. Soon the team set out in their robots and began approaching the monster. After spotting a massive storm cloud, they saw a large clockser in the cloud moving towards them like an alien ship. Hoping to destroy it, Zoroark began to advance, dodging the tentacles and cutting them, but got caught in them. Luckily, he managed to break free, but a bomb exploded on him. However, he spotted the core and thought it would be easy to destroy it, so he flew towards it but was engulfed by strange bubbles before he could destroy it. Ichigo flew towards him and punched him to safety, but ended up getting trapped in it. When the clockser started glowing with bright lights, it exploded in a huge blast. When Gaara woke up inside the robot, he decided to turn off the warning alarm and remembered that he had ejected Ichigo before the explosion. Hiro started talking to him over the radio and said that Ichigo was safe, but that he was trapped in the clockser's stomach and was becoming its breakfast. Hiro said that the rest of the team had retreated to the facility and were unsure if they could save him. The only hope of rescuing him was through his robot, but with Ichigo out of it, it was impossible to activate it. When 02 entered the room, she demanded that Goro be rescued immediately. The sergeant said that Goro was trapped in the monster's fuel tank and was lucky to still be alive. He said that the priority was to protect the fortress and that they would have to destroy the clockser with Goro inside it. However, Ichigo was afraid of losing her partner and said she was willing to save him. Then, 02 suggested that they use the exhaust hole at the top of the monster. They returned to the battlefield, and while Zoroark launched the FranXX to the top, Ichigo dived inside and began to swim deep into the fuel. At the same time, Goro was having difficulty breathing and started to remember when he was a little boy. He was often saved by Ichigo, who thought he was too weak and useless to do anything on his own. He fell in love with her at that moment, but was sad because she always loved Hiro. When he was about to kill himself, he decided to activate the self-destruction system, but fortunately, Ichigo entered the robot at that moment. She reminded him that she promised to save him, as he was always weak and useless without her. Garo was happy to see her and offered his hand. At the same moment, the robot came to life and launched an explosive device before flying to the surface and escaping to the outside. As they ran back to the fortress, the clockser exploded in a huge explosion. With peace restored, Garo decided to give the hair clip to Ichigo and said he had hoped to give it to her since they were little. He said he loved her and would like to spend the rest of his life with her. However, she said she only considered him a friend. But seriously, Ichigo was shy, but she still didn't know how to respond to this love and romance thing, but she was very grateful to have Goro as her partner. Oh guys, I always melt in the romance of this anime. So cute. Sign up for the next part. See you then.